Mel couldn't do a push-up, couldn't bench press, couldn't even shoot a basketball without being in a lot of pain. And when his MRI came back, it also didn't look good. It looked like his playing days might be over, but that's not what happened. I'm welcome back to NLB Pod. I'm Dr. Farimang Touray Jr., physical therapist, and today I'm walking you through a real case player named Mel, friend of the show. You guys heard his story. He came last summer to me complaining of shoulder pain that was affecting his ability to play basketball, do bodyweight movements, bench press, push up. We worked together one session in person to do the assessment evaluation, and the rest was done virtually. And it was really, really good. He was progressing really quickly. He was able to get to bodyweight push-ups without pain. He was able to get back to benching without pain. And most importantly, he was able to get back on the court. And I did a post about, excuse me, I did a post last week about if your shoulder's in pain, what are these are three things you guys can look at to do. And those are the principles that I use that I take my athletes through. And it worked really, really well here because I kept it really simple. And Mel had a good understanding of what needed to be done, why things were being done, where he should be feeling things, and how to progress or regress depending on what he was feeling. So we're gonna break down what the principles are, how they apply to Mel's story, and if it's something that you guys are dealing with, you guys can also use the same framework for your shoulder pain if you're dealing with it, or pretty much any kind of pain that you're dealing with in general. Just how to adapt for the body region. But we're gonna start off with where Mel was when he first came, when I first saw him, and then we'll go from there. So, like I mentioned, this was about last summer. Mel is part of our morning basketball group, and he had been dealing with some shoulder pain on his shooting arm, and that is not fun. That's something you use all the time, your dominant arm, dominant hand, and every time you try and shoot, feel a twinge of pain. But he would try and fight through it. He would try and fight through it, try and train as he could, but it was just still bothering him, and it was keep getting worse and worse. So he'd take some time off, come back again, and it was still kind of the same thing, still continuing to get worse. Then he went to the doc, got some imaging. They told him he had a tear and gave him some options of what he might do, some exercises he could do, what his options were, essentially, if things didn't get better. And I want you guys to think about that for a second. You go to the doc, they tell you you have a tear in your shoulder. What are the emotions that are going to be going through your head? Fear, doubt, worry, fatigue, exhausting, draining, not good emotions. And when you couple it with the fact that how it's communicated by medical professionals, I feel like as a whole can be improved on, but a lot of professionals make it sound like it's the end of the world. You got to stop doing what you love to do in the first place if it's really going to heal. Some are just quick to suggest surgery or something on the calendar, but it just feeds into a lot of doubt. It feeds into, can I get back to who I used to be or better than that? It has us questioning whether we should even push or strive to be better, strive to overcome this. because you're talking to a medical professional who sees a lot of tears or a lot of trauma to a region. And that's really it. Like they know if I see a tear, it gotta get fixed for the body to work appropriately. But what we've known for a long time is that imaging tells us a part of the story, but it's not the whole story. There's a lot of studies out there to show that people can have bad findings, quote unquote, bad findings on imaging, but have no pain. Like, there's a lot of people in the world who have disc herniations in their back. That's where the tissue in the spinal cord goes out and hits the nerve, disc herniation, and it's not, and they don't have any pain. There's also people on the flip side who have clean scans, nothing on imaging, nothing remarkable on imaging, and have a lot of pain. Make it make sense. Imaging is just a piece of the puzzle, but doesn't tell us the whole picture. So that was the first thing that we had to unpack was like, hey, this is what the imaging is saying it found. This is what it means. But there's a lot of things that we can do to still work around this while it's healing. And the good thing is you're young, you're active. It's got to implement the right implement the right interventions or exercises, movements to the shoulder to facilitate healing and help the healing process. So we're gonna have the whole shoulder, whole mid back, upper back muscles. We're gonna have them work and work really well while the shoulder tear is healing. So you can still do a lot. So that was number one. Then we met in person. We went through an assessment. I took him through my screen, looking at range of motion, looking at where he starts to feel the pain, what activities cause it, what part of the motion of the bench press, of the push up, does it get to? Because that gives you clues on where, what things are moving and what things are not moving, and what do we need to facilitate to help move, to help these motions get better. And a lot of times with orthopedic stuff, if you can get your tissues, feeling the right tissues in the right areas, and getting maybe areas that you don't normally get activated to activate, you can make changes pretty quickly, which is nice to see, like in pain reduction or just in the range of motion. And that lets you know you're on the right track and you've found the entry point. So I went through full screen, range of motion, strength, what he's able to do, what his current capacity is, and what he can tolerate. That was really important to figure out. What can you do right now? You can still work your left arm. So we're going to work the left arm in all motions because even if a side is injured and you do work on the other side, the injured side is getting good effects from the brain. It's learning from the brain. We're going to continue to train lower body, continue to train cardio, and kind of just starting from there. Had a good game plan. So number one, what we had to figure out, something I want you guys to write down. You guys got to find your comfortable ranges first. Figure out the motions that are scary and that you don't want to do, and work in the ranges that are comfortable. So if I know if I'm working on a bench press and let's say when my elbow and shoulder are in line with each other, that's where I feel the shoulder pain. All right, bet. So I'm not going to go down that far, bring my elbow down that far. Or if my arm is out in front and I get to here, like let's say 120 degrees, and that's where my pain starts to hit, then I'm just gonna work at 90 and get really good at 90. I'll start to progress 100, 110. And over time, as I'm getting more comfortable at those lower ranges, the upper ranges are going to feel better. because we're getting more strength, we're getting more tolerance at those lower angles, and we're also not pissing it off, but we're giving the body what it needs, what it can do in a graded exposure. So for Mel, he didn't like anything that had his elbows going past his shoulders. He didn't overhead reaching overhead was not the greatest. Reaching out to the side and didn't really enjoy it. So I was like, first thing we're gonna work into whatever range is comfortable. So we had to find a height that was appropriate for push-ups that he could tolerate and get through and not have increased pain during or the next day. We had to find a variation of pressing movements that he could tolerate, whether it was with a band, whether it was on the floor. Had to figure out what he had access to and what he could make work. But the goal was always we're gonna bring back push-ups and we're gonna bring back bench press. Like those need to be you need to be able to clear those to know that you can do it one. And it allows us to support more load to the arm and load the arm to make sure that it is physically able to handle what you're asking to do and you feel mentally ready and capable to handle what you're asking it to do. So that was number one. We worked in the comfortable ranges and we identified one he could progress, which was the green light. One he should maintain yellow light and shoulder talking to him a little bit. And if there's any sharp pain, reds, we'll stay away from those. With the understanding that those reds would turn into yellows, yellows would turn into greens, and we would just stack more greens on greens on greens with the eventual goal of getting back to basketball and being able to lift without thinking about his shoulder. So that was one. Point number two, we get this, I don't know where this comes from, but maybe it's in PE class, maybe when you watch YouTube videos on shoulder rehab, everyone tells you pin your shoulder blades down and back. Pin your shoulder blades down and back. It increases stability, improves your posture. But our shoulder blades are meant to move. They should move. They help us achieve full shoulder range of motion. The shoulder just doesn't move by itself. The shoulder needs help from the shoulder blade to achieve its full range of motion. Overhead, out to the side, and the shoulder blade can't move, then the shoulder is going to take on more of the stress. And if there's more stress going to a limited area, over time, it's just going to wear on you, wear and tear, and it's going to stress the area more. And that's not what we want. We want to build robustness, we want to build resilience. And if your shoulders can't move, you just predispose to more patterns, you limit your movement options. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Before we get into today's episode, this episode is brought to you by The Blueprint, a free community for hoopers who want to get better at the game of basketball. You'll have the chance to get weekly content, have the ability to ask any and all your questions related to the game, and it's free. So the link's in the bio. Join, and we'll see you guys in the blueprint. Now let's get back to today's episode. Maybe it's limitations in reaching overhead or reaching behind your back. So we had to get his shoulder blades moving, learning how to interact with the floor, learning how to push and protract his shoulders. Protraction meaning pushing the arm away from your body. Retraction meaning shoulder blades coming together closer to your body. You got to learn how to control that and going through each of the motions. And I find that if you can do that really well, you can get your ribs moving also. Your shoulder pain tends to do a lot better relatively quickly too. Like if you just got more things contributing to more things moving, more things contributing to the cycle of movement, it's beneficial. Now we're not stressing the same tiny little area in the shoulder. Now muscles are moving, joints are moving how they're supposed to. The muscles are pulling on the joints how they should be. And now things feel a lot smoother instead of cranky, achy. because we're just utilizing one pattern. We got to introduce a multitude of ways. So if anyone tells you shoulder blades down and back or pin your shoulder blades together, unless you're doing bench, I want them to move. So that's what we had to incorporate with Mel. We had to figure out different variations on the floor with the band, reaching across, pulling motions, just things that will get his arms moving, able to get long while the other arm is doing another thing, doing the opposite. A lot of reciprocal movements, a lot of mm, introducing a lot of rotation into his world and getting him out of one pattern of movement and introducing more variety to his life. Very beneficial. Very beneficial. Last third tip, focus on what you can do. The shoulder is going to catch up. We tend to focus when we get hurt, all the things we can't do. Man, I can't bench. Man, I can't shoot. Man, I can't lift my arm. It's hard for me to sleep at night. I can't sleep on it. It's hard for me to get dressed. We just harp on the things that we can't do. I get it. I totally understand. Injuries are tough and they really can mess with your mental because you get so used to being independent, doing whatever you want, not thinking about it. And now you got to be very careful about how you reach, what step you take. Is it going to mess up my shoulder? Is it going to send me back? It's not a way you want to live life. But I need you guys to think about what you can do. Focus on that. Focus on the controllables, and the shoulder is going to catch up. Focus on the other side, the uninjured arm. Focus on your cardio. Maybe it's the bike. Maybe it's the Versa climber. Maybe it's the rower, because that's at a here. That's here at 90 instead of having to use a skier or not having to go overhead and pull down. That might not be the best. But there are so many modifications and adaptations that we can make to our exercise selection depending on what's uncomfortable and whatever is comfortable. Best believe we're going to do that. Best believe we're going to attack. And so that's what we did. We did, we kept things in tolerable ranges. We had his whole body moving. We focused on what he could do. And week by week, started getting better. The things that were 5 out of 10 hard were now 3 out of 10 hard over the course of a couple weeks. What he could do 5 pounds with, now he's doing 7.5, 10 pounds. What was a 5 out of 10 pain is starting to turn into 2 out of 10 pain. Like he's seeing momentum, he's seeing good things happen, and he's still feeling like an athlete. He's still feeling like he's training towards something, and he's had hope. He's like, dang, I haven't not felt my shoulder pain in a while, and now I don't feel that bad when I'm doing some of these movements. Push-ups, yeah, they still might be elevated, but doing the motion, bench press, the weight might be lighter, but still working through whatever range I have available to. I'm feeling muscles work that I don't normally feel. I'm getting sore from these workouts that seem pretty simple, but my muscles feel like they've worked. Like I've done a full body lift, and that's great. That's great. I think it also just builds. It builds. You get to discover new things about yourself, what you can do, maybe what you didn't know that you could handle, and it builds resilience and just your ability to get through things. Your ability to, when things get tough, put your head down and go. And that's over the course of probably like 6 to 8 weeks. And I'll start thinking about getting shots up, testing it out, seeing how his shoulder's feeling, having a better understanding of what is acceptable discomfort and what you should stay away from, and how to gradually start reintroducing dribbling, shooting back into the mix. And that was fantastic. And then I like to give extra bonus for things that we worked on with Mel. And everything needs to be scalable. Like if you pick a movement, you have to have a way to go down if you're not getting the muscle activation that you want or you're not feeling it in the right place. If the pain is increasing, if it doesn't feel right, but you also have to have a way to go the other way. And if things are too easy or you need more of a challenge, you have to be able to scale it up. And that's how you continue to adapt. If we do things and we just do it aimlessly, there's no real intention behind it, we're going to stay the same, probably even get worse. So you have to continuously challenge your body, but at a slow enough pace where it can adapt and doesn't go into overload or start freaking out because you're introducing a lot of new things. And it's like, hold on, hold on, hold on. I haven't done this and you're asking me to do this. Like, what are we doing? So it's the game that we play as rehab professionals of giving you enough of a dose to get the adaptation that we want, but still allowing you to function and be and do what you need to do. So that was really big for me and my programming for Mel. Everything is scalable. And he knew if this hurts, this is my option. This is what I'm going to change to. If this is easy, this is how I'm going to progress it, which helped him when he's doing things on his own feel really good. I feel really confident about taking things into his own hands and understanding what is good versus what I should be wary of and what I need to take note of for next time where when I can attack it again. So I say all that to say later that summer, Mel comes back. Mel almost like he never left. He looked the same. It was really cool to see someone who worked really hard, understood what he was trying to get to, and was really willing to lock in and really go after it. So I remember him telling me what they had him doing rehab wise, what the doctor had told him to do with his rehab. And I was like, this is not intense enough for what you have to be able to do. And that's the annoying part about the medical profession. It's like we're really good at getting people out of pain, but not really good at getting people back to high performance or back to sport. And that's what the mission is. That's what it's about. So Mo was able to come back. He's playing now still. He's doing great. Still part of his rehab, part of his warm-ups before he gets on the court. And he gained a lot. He gained his shoulder function back. He gained trust in his body. He gained the ability to know how to take care of himself moving forward. And knowing that if he needs help, he got people in his corner that can help him or guide him along the way. And that's huge. That's huge. So I want people to feel empowered. Anyone who comes into my world, just know someone's in your corner. They want to see you succeed. They want to see you win. And wherever you're at, they're gonna find the starting point and work with you to build you back up towards your goals. That's what y'all should look for in the people that you work with or the people that are around you. People that are gonna build you up, people that understand their level of genius, their zone of genius, people that can communicate clearly and listen to what bothers you, what you like, what you don't like, and what you're trying to get back to. Put all those things together, have a good structured plan, and you can accomplish a lot of things, even if your imaging says one thing. So that's it, y'all. So just to recap real quick, imaging is not the end all be all. Train in your comfortable ranges first. Whatever you can do that's tolerable, do it. Don't lock your shoulder blades in place. They need to move. Focus on what you can do. The shoulder is going to catch up, and everything needs to be scalable. But I appreciate you guys listening. We just had our first blueprint call and our system call over the weekend, live Q&A. Some people getting to ask questions. We had teaching on, how to stay available throughout the course of a long season. That was really that I think you guys can take away immediately and start implement into your game. So if you guys want to see that recording, it's live in the educational modules. You guys can hit the link in my bio and join the Blueprint community, where all we're trying to do is just keep you available to play the game that you love. And so you'll have weekly insight for tips and tricks to taking care of your body, being able to perform better, recover from injury faster, be the best player that you can be. We'll have the monthly live Q&As. You have the ability to ask questions at any time, whether it's live on the call or just in the community platform. You'll be surrounded by other hoopers, other basketball players who want to take care of themselves too and find it's nice to have people going through the same journey as you in your pursuit to be the best that you can be. And then every once in a while, if I don't got answers, I'm gonna bring people on, people that are experts, people that can bring game to you guys to help you guys develop as players. So that's really what it's about. I'm really excited for what it's going to turn into and what it's going to be. I just dropped I think fire newsletter. Excited to get going into that, get into writing a little more and trying to just give to y'all. So if there's questions you guys have, questions that you guys want answered, just join the blueprint, put them in there, reach out to me, and we'll make sure you guys get taken care of. But all right, catch y'all on the next one. Peace. This episode is brought to you by The Blueprint. If today's episode resonated with you and you want to be part of the community where you can ask questions like this and get real answers from someone who knows basketball and the body, then The Blueprint is for you. It's completely free to join. Weekly value from me, monthly live Q&As where you can ask your questions and you get a real response. A community of hoopers who get it. The link is in the show notes. Come introduce yourself inside. I'm really looking forward to you guys joining. We'll see y'all in there.